Chapter 33, The Battle Concludes. Kurenai laid Naruto on a gurney. The doctor did several hand signs and his hand was covered in green chakra. He moved his hand over Naruto from head to toe, he then focused on Naruto's right arm. Shattered right hand and forearm, heavy burning across all the right hand and arm. What the hell did he hit? He put a hole in a barrier that was keeping the Hokage trapped with Orochimaru. He allowed help to get into the barrier so that the Hokage might be able to win. Kurenai looked concerned and down at her student. Will his client be able to repair the damage? I don't see why not, but he will not be able to do much with that arm for a while. The doctor replied. Hinata bent over and kissed Naruto on the forehead. Please be okay. Outside of the stadium, Hiashi had taken Hanabi towards the Hyuga compound. A branch Chunin stopped Hiashi. We need support at the hospital. They seem bent on taking it down and they seem to be searching for someone. Very well, let's go and find out what they are searching for. Hiashi put Hanabi on his back and ran towards the hospital. Inside the barrier, Orochimaru did not look pleased. I shall have all the jutsu in the world. There is nothing you can do to stop me. Your ambitions know no end. They have to be stopped. I will stop you. Sarutobi replied as he panted heavily. There was a scream from one of the Anbu as he was skewered and then shredded by a blast of water. Both Sarutobi and Orochimaru turned to see the spectacle. Delightful and beautiful, watching death that is. Orochimaru commented. Then why don't you join them, my student? Sarutobi replied as Enma transformed into a bow staff. Sarutobi and Orochimaru traded blows between staff and sword. Why would I want to join the dead when I can use them? They are so obedient, Orochimaru said as he blocked a downward swing by Sarutobi. Just surrender, old man. The Leaf Village will fall. You never seem to understand my teachings, Orochimaru. You always had to experiment and then you would have to try it on innocents. That is the reason I passed you over for Hokage. You were to protect those of the village, not use them, Sarutobi said sternly. Your lectures, while interesting, never amounted to much, sensei. So that is why I am going to kill you and destroy the leaf. Orochimaru commented. You never understood what it meant to be Hokage. You still don't understand the will of fire, Sarutobi said with a sad smile. Who cares, power and jutsu are all that matter. I will live forever and learn all the jutsu in the world. I will rule the world. Orochimaru loudly declared. You learned nothing. Even if you kill me, others will take my place and those that are working together to defend this village will rise to the occasion. Because they are protecting those that they feel are precious to them and thus will work even harder to defend them. That is why you will fail. You are a bad student, Orochimaru. The one most important lesson I could teach you, you would not learn. Until you find something you are willing to put your life on the line for, you will not attain true power. The power to defend is stronger than the power to destroy, Sarutobi said as he blocked a swing of Orochimaru's sword. Stop babbling, old man, and die, Orochimaru yelled angrily. The second Hokage was fighting three Anbu at the same time and was injuring all of them. He dodged a thrown shuriken but then stopped fighting as he saw a hand and a blade of electricity coming out of his left chest. You are gifted, young one, but it will take more than that to destroy me. I am sorry. Water style, circling water barrier. Water appeared out of thin air and started to circle around the second Hokage. We don't have the reserves to fight him on even ground. He is a water user, so let's take advantage of that, Kakashi said with a smirk. The younger generation must surpass the older. It is how life must work. The second Hokage strained to say. You will fight for me, or do you wish to return to being dead? Orochimaru angrily retorted. Actually, I would have preferred to have remained dead, thank you, but this jutsu forces me to be your slave. You will learn, child, that to rest in peace is something not to be feared. The second replied as he went through several hand signs. Water style, water dragon jutsu. A dragon of water appeared and headed towards Kakashi and the Anbu members. Kakashi then went through his own set of hand signs. Earth style, earth dragon jutsu. A stone dragon appeared from behind Kakashi in the rock and moved forward. It slammed into the water dragon. The earth dragon continued through the water dragon slowly. The dragon eventually got to the water barrier and snapped its mouth closed on the second Hokage, destroying the barrier. The second Hokage laid in the rubble of the dragon, his body broken. Good child, finish it. The second Hokage requested as his arms slowly repaired themselves. Earth style, interred decapitation, Kakashi said as the Hokage was how stuck up to his head in the rock and mud. I am sorry, Lord Hokage. Fire style, Grand Fireball Jutsu, Kakashi said sadly as the fireball slammed into the second and burned his body beyond all repair. Rest in peace Lord Hokage, now it's time for us to catch a snake. Reform and give the Hokage cover. Kakashi ordered. Naruto awoke in excruciating pain, his right hand was on fire and his head felt like he had taken a head dive off the Hokage monument. As his vision came into focus he noticed he was in a familiar sewer-like setting. So you have decided to join me. Again you surprise me with your cunning and courage, kid. But I am angry, you nearly killed us both. Had you not gone 3 tails we would have died and our mates would have never forgiven us, especially. What do you have to say for yourself? The fox demanded. Naruto looked at his hand, burnt and mangled. Guess I did go a little overboard. Sorry. The fox laughed. When have even not gone overboard? The fox questioned. I wonder if Gigi is okay. And was Kurenai-sensei I saw just before I passed out? Naruto asked as his whole body continued to hurt. Yes, your female teacher took you away from battle. Where to I cannot tell, but I do sense your mate close by, Kyubi said teasingly. Really? Wait. Why do you keep on calling her my mate? I do love Hinata but I don't think she will be able to marry an outcast like me, Naruto said and sounded depressed. The Kyubi laughed. I don't see how they can stop it from happening. You both are Jinchuriki. Also any other male tries to mate with her I am sure we would neuter them, if she did not. Also Haim would not accept anyone other than you as her mate. Of this I am sure. And going by your conversation a few days ago you both love each other. Okay Fox, what is in it for you if Hinata Haim and I do get married? Naruto asked pointedly. For one I can get help in getting rid of the blasted sewer. Second I will be able to talk and see my mate. As you grow older you and your mate will be able to change our cages to better suit you both. We are both very old and powerful. The only reason that we were captured is because of the blasted Uchiha. I hate them. Too bad there is only a few left. If I were truly evil I would require you to eliminate them. Oh, that Sasuke one will betray your village eventually, all Uchiha do. They are loyal to the clan first, village second. I must say that I do like that Itachi fellow though. The Kyubi chucked as he spoke. Remember, against an Uchiha I cannot help you. At least if they possess the advanced Dujutsu. If they do you will have to learn to fight without me. You must become strong, child, as I will not have a weak vessel. Now rest as I attempt to repair the damage you have done. Naruto then lay down and closed his eyes as he attempted to ignore the pain. Hinata breathed a sigh of relief as she saw and felt the thin layer of Kyubi chakra surround Naruto. Kurenai looked at Hinata and smiled. The doctor looked up and shooed everyone other than Hinata and Kurenai away from the bed. He pulled the drapes around the bed and watched the Kyubi heal Naruto's injuries, starting with his arm. He knew he would be out of action for a little while. Color slowly returned to Naruto's arm, no longer black and burnt, it turned pink but did not change from there. Naruto continued to grimace in pain. His arm was shattered, his host will be able to mend it but it will take time. He will only be able to heal it so quickly. You do understand that too much of that type of chakra will do more damage to him, so it will take time for him to heal. I also would not touch him if while that chakra is surrounding him, young lady. The doctor commented as Hinata touched Naruto and her hand slid into the chakra without even the slightest sign of pain. It is all right, doctor, I am immune to the effects of that chakra, Hinata said with a smile as she closed her eyes. Kurenai nodded. She is correct, as they do have a special connection. Hinata laid her head on Naruto's stomach and smiled. Sarutobi breathing was labored. Enough of this game, Orochimaru, we must end this. You are right, old man. I have not destroyed this village but I will return. Orochimaru responded as his tongue flew out of his mouth towards his sword. Sarutobi moved in front of Orochimaru and cycled through a lot of hand signs. I do not recognize that jutsu. Of course not, my student, as I am going to take away your jutsu. Forbidden art, decomposition. Sarutobi finished the last hand sign and grabbed Orochimaru's arms. Orochimaru screamed as his hands turned purple and the color walked up his arm. Orochimaru screamed and swung violently as Sarutobi released his grip on Orochimaru. Orochimaru swallowed his sword and ran away from Sarutobi towards the back of the barrier. We must withdraw. What did you do to me, old man? Sarutobi was sitting with Kakashi standing beside him. My misguided pupil, that jutsu will destroy all the cells in your body. If you do not remove your arm soon your whole body will rot. Now you understand why it is a forbidden jutsu. I am the only one who knows it. Now either withdraw or die, Sarutobi said with a weak smile. It will also drain almost all of your chakra, so I would advise you never use as Kakashi, Sarutobi whispered to Kakashi, who just nodded. The barrier collapsed and Orochimaru's henchman grabbed him and retreated from Konoha. Haku put a mirror of ice in front of herself, which caused the kunai and shuriken to bounce off and away from her. Haku's reply was a volley of senbon which caused several of the enemy shinobi to collapse in pain. You are still too soft, Haku, Zabuza said as he cleaved 5 sound ninja in half. You need to go for the kill more often. Why, when we can save them for Ibiki later? Haku said with an evil smile. Zabuza looked surprised then smiled. I didn't give you enough credit, my daughter, Zabuza laughed as he hit a sand shinobi over the head, only to hear a crunch. Guess I will have to work on that. You should keep to the killing, father, and leave those that we want to question to me. Haku replied as she threw more senbon and disabled 3 more enemy shinobi. It looks like they are starting to retreat. Shall we gather the captives and work our way back to the stadium? She looked down at the moaning enemies. Get up or my father will cleave you in two. Haku ordered. All 20 enemy shinobi slowly stood and put their hands on their heads. Haku took each of their pouches as they passed her and walked towards the stadium. Hiashi saw a couple shinobi holding a couple of women and attempting to jump out of the window. No, that couldn't be. He ran and tapped the 2 carrying the women and grabbed the women off their shoulders. As the men died falling out the window, Hiashi ran back to the Chunin and out the main entrance. Bring Hanabi and we need to get these to the Hyuga medical wing now, Hiashi said as one of the men grabbed Hanabi. They all ran towards the Hyuga compound. Chapter 34, Aftermath. Hiashi wore a sad smile upon his face. The invasion had failed and Konoha had prevailed. Sarutobi and many of the shinobi of the Leaf were now in the overflowing hospitals and clan medical wards. The Hyuga had also taken in many of the injured. There were few civilian casualties. This was a good thing. Buildings could be rebuilt, people could be healed, but the dead could not be brought back. Naruto was recovering in the next room with a shattered right hand and arm. Hinata had not left his side. Hiashi had smiled at this. What actually bothered him were these 2 women in this room. One was thought dead many years ago and the other thought dead only a few years ago. He had to talk to Sarutobi about this, and others would have to be informed. The question was who. His big question was why the sound shinobi were trying to abduct these 2 women who were currently in comas. How are they doing? Hiashi asked Kikyo. They are both stable, they both appear to have been under a strong genjutsu for quite a while. It would appear that being under the genjutsu for so long has done some damage to both of the women. We would need someone with expertise greater than mine to heal them. I would think Tsunade-sama would be perfect, but getting her here would be very hard to do. Kikyo responded. Very well, how are the other patients? Hiashi asked. Well, Neji will be fine. The shuriken wounds are healing nicely. He will be over his chakra exhaustion in a couple days. Naruto-kun has already healed from his newest kunai wounds from the attempted stabbing as his lady Hinata. Naruto-kun will still take a couple weeks for his arm and hand to heal. Shino is suffering from mild burns but should be fine in a few days. I hear that Sasuke Uchiha will more than likely either be done with being a shinobi or be limited to using one hand, unless we can get a hold of Tsunade-sama to also help him. Kikyo replied. I see. I will speak with the Hokage about this, but I'm not sure he will like what I have to talk to him about. Hiashi commented. I'll bet. What were those 2 doing in the long-term care ward anyways? I think they should have had Inoiki working with them a long time ago. Have you talked to him about this? Kikyo asked as Hiashi shook his head. And we thought both of them were dead years ago. What are you going to say to the Hokage? Kikyo asked. I am not sure, but there are too many questions and not enough answers. Do not tell anyone about our 2 guests until we have seen the Hokage, Hiashi said, and Kikyo nodded and left. 4 beds were in the room filled with 3 Uzumaki and 1 Hyuga. 1 Izan, why did you have to get hurt again? Hanabi whined. She was protecting her love, Yugito said as she made her lips pucker as if she was going to kiss. This caused Hinata to turn bright red. Yugito, leave Hinata Heim alone, Naruto yelled at his little sister. How many did you get, Naruto Onsen? Yugito asked. Let's see. I got 2 Hyuga, a demon and a barrier. That is all I can claim. Naruto replied with a foxy grin. Ah, I got only 2 sound Chunin before they broke my leg and stabbed me. Hey, does a barrier even count? Yugito questioned. Sure, if the Hokage is trapped behind it. Naruto retorted as Hinata giggled. What are you guys doing? You think that it was a contest? Konoha was invaded and we did what we could to try to help. Shinbo castigated the quarreling siblings. Anyways, I got a Sand Jonin, and 5 Chunin from Sound. Shinbo smirked. I say a demon and a barrier are worth at least a dozen Jonin from Sand. Naruto retaliated verbally. Heck, I even helped defeat a Sannin. Beat that, Naruto said as he tried to cross his arms forgetting his caste. Ow, ow, ow. Naruto-kun, are you okay? Hinata asked concerned. Naruto scratched his head with his left hand. Yeah, Hinata-heim, I just keep on forgetting about this broken arm. Darn caste. Naruto complained as Hinata again giggled at Naruto's antics. How bad was it? Sarutobi asked from his hospital bed. Not as bad as it could have been. Kakashi answered first from the surrounding Jonin. Yeah, had Naruto not forced the Kazekage's son to surrender and then opened a hole in the barrier, the invasion would have lasted a lot longer, Anko said, almost excited. We lost some good people. But on the bright side, we did win and took a lot more of them than they took of us. We are currently at about 1/3 normal strength right now, but we can be back to 2/3 in a couple months. Otherwise, I agree with Anko-san's and Kakashi-san's assessments. The Sound invasion force was completely wiped out. Suna's forces were also decimated, but more like about 80% were either captured or killed. We did take quite a few prisoners, mostly Sand shinobi. It does appears that Orochimaru was the mastermind behind this attack. We also got word earlier today from Suna that the Kazekage's body was found near Suna, Ibiki stated. I see, now the reason I brought you all here. I want to know your opinion on the Genin that participated in the Chunin exams. Sarutobi asked. Both Nara and the Sand Girl both showed very good strategic ability. The demon, Naruto showed promise, but I don't think he is ready. Sasuke Uchiha is ready. Gaara and Kankuro of the Sand are not ready. Shino Aburame did not show us anything, so I would say no to him. What? A Jonin in the back commented as the killing intent in the room went through the roof. Kakashi, Anko, Genma, and Kurenai were all looking at the Jonin. Zabuza has shifted behind the man and was pulling a kunai out. Sarutobi shook his head at this. I will not comment on my student's performance, but if you ever again refer to one of my students as demon again, you will never have children. Do I make myself clear? Kurenai threatened as Sarutobi chuckled. I like the kid too. So watch what you say, Zabuza said menacingly. Kakashi had put his book away. Said Jonin was found later that day tied up near the front gates only wearing underpants. He decided never to insult Naruto again, especially in front of Kakashi, or Genma. Kurenai, Zabuza and Anko were even worse than Kakashi or Genma. They called for castration, but were overruled by Kakashi and Genma. Hello Sasuke-kun, Sakura said affectionately as she entered Sasuke's hospital room. What do you want? Sasuke angrily looked at the pink-haired girl. I wanted to see how you were doing? But if you want to be alone and mope, be my guest. Lee-san has asked me out on a date and I am going to accept as I seem to not be wanted here. Sakura retorted. You would go out with that eyebrow freak? Sasuke asked. Well, at least he treats me human. Unlike a certain stuck-up Uchiha teammate of mine. Naruto was right, you do have a stick up your ass, Sakura said as she turned to leave. She then turned back and looked angrily at Sasuke. A little advice, if you keep pushing girls away you will either be left with none or you will be thought to be homosexual. It is your choice. Sakura left in an angry huff. I can't deal with girls right now, I have to get stronger so that I can kill Itachi, and then I can think about rebuilding the clan. Sasuke thought to himself. Geez, just who does he think he is? He keeps on pushing all the girls away, pushing me away. I am tired of being treated like trash by him. At least Lee might appreciate me. Sakura thought as she left the hospital and approached Lee. Sakura-chan, so how did it go with Sasuke-kun? Lee asked. He is a jerk, Sakura said as tears welled up in her eyes. Lee looked down, smiled kindly and then offered Sakura his arm. Come Sakura-chan, we will drown your sorrows in a dengo or two, my treat. Sakura sadly smiled and then nodded as she took Lee's arm. They walked down the street to a local dengo stand. A figure watched them from the background as the pair walked into the dengo stand. I have brought you home, Sakura-chan. I hope you are feeling better and I believe that Sasuke-kun will eventually do better with your advances. I am sorry he is not ready yet. Have a good evening Sakura-chan, Lee said with a big grin and put his thumb up. Thank you, Lee, and thank you for understanding. Good night. Sakura replied as she closed her door. You may come out and show yourself. You are not that good at hiding yourself, Lee said to no one in particular. I am sorry, Lee-kun. Please forgive me. A female voice came from the bushes. Somewhere in the rice field country, Kabuto cut them off. It has already reached my elbows. Cut them off, Orochimaru yelled as the pain of dying nerves had become excruciating. Strap him down. He is not ready to transfer just yet, so strap him down and prepare to remove Orochimaru-sama's arms. Also give him anesthesia. Several other medical nin helped strap Orochimaru down to the table and then gave him sedatives to knock him out. A blonde woman apparently in her 20s had sneezed and caused the ball on the roulette table to change from her number to another. This caused her to lose her roulette game. If I find out who was talking about me just now, I will kill them. Tsunade said angrily. Is everything alright, Lady Tsunade? Shizune asked. Yeah, someone was talking behind my back and caused me to sneeze and lose that game. Tsunade replied. So Orochimaru's plans failed and the Kyuubi container has made a name for himself? A shadowy figure asked a group of other shadows. It would appear so, leader. So when do we move? Another shadow asked with red eyes. It will be some time yet. The leader responded. But you can check on him if you like. Thank you, leader. Kisame and I will leave now. The red-eyed shadow responded. Your status as probationary shinobi has been lifted, Zabuza and Haku. We will now work on finding places for you in the regular forces. It may be boring for a while as we need to rebuild the village, but there should be plenty of missions for you. Zabuza, you are going to be assigned as a special jonin, and Haku, you will be a floating genin. Right now we have some large holes in our forces. I think can find places for both of you, Sarutobi said from his bed. Thank you, Hokage-sama, we are greatly honored, Haku said as she bowed. I agree with Haku-chan, Hokage-sama. I am thankful you shortening our probation. We were just on our way to see that Gaki, Naruto, Zabuza said. Say hello to him and tell him, thank you from me. I am not sure I would be here if he did not do what he did, Sarutobi said smiling. What did he do exactly? Haku asked. Oh, that is right, you guys were in the village during the exams. Naruto defeated Gaara of the Sand and then broke a hole in the barrier that Orochimaru's men had set up. The hole was big enough for some help to enter and help me stop him from doing much more than injuring me. Like an old fool, I used a forbidden jutsu and aged myself a decade, Sarutobi said playfully. I am sorry we missed the party. Oh well, I took several jonin to the cleaners with Naruto's fight, Zabuza said jokingly. I hear both of you brought in about 30 sand and sound prisoners. Ibiki will be busy for quite a while thanks to both of you. Now go and see your friends, Sarutobi said as he shooed the former water nin out of his hospital room. A few minutes later there was a knock on the door and Sarutobi sighed. What now? Hokage-san, we would like to have a word with you if you don't mind, Koharu said as she and Homura entered the room. With all of these visitors I will not be able to heal properly, but for my old teammates I will make an exception, Sarutobi said tiredly. I wonder what that old goat and bat want now. We have just gotten out of a council meeting and they are split on what to do about the invasion. Most members want reconstruction and then war on the Sound Village. What is your opinion, Sarutobi? Koharu asked. I say we do the reconstruction and then get back to normal as soon as possible. We are not in a position to be making war even on a small village such as the Sound. Orochimaru can wait. I would like to speak with my student Jiraiya as soon as possible. Sarutobi responded. We would also like to speak about the child being housed in the Hyuga household and the girl from Kiri, Homura said. What of Naruto-kun and Haku-chan? Sarutobi asked. Well, the girl possesses a Kekkei Genkai, and we want to make sure it is not lost. We are proposing a marriage of Sasuke Uchiha to the girl, so that we could have both bloodlines in the same family, Koharu said. The girl will not be forced to marry as her foster father will cleave anyone in two who tries to do that. Zabuza-san is not fond of politics and I am sure not allow you or the council to force Haku-chan to marry. As for Sasuke Uchiha, he is nowhere near ready to start a family. He is too driven right now by hate and anger to be a loving father. He would abandon his children just for a chance at his brother. Also, the chances of Sasuke liking or agreeing to the marriage are slim at best. He does not like Zabuza, Sarutobi said sternly. Very well, we will drop this subject for now, Sarutobi. Homura replied. Now what is it that you want to discuss about Naruto-kun? Sarutobi asked. Several of the council members want Naruto out of the Hyuga household. Some want him to be married off to their daughters, others do not, and a few want the demon destroyed. Koharu replied. That is a decision for Kakashi, Hiashi and Naruto-kun to decide. Naruto-kun appears to be happy now, so I am sure he will not want to move. Also, there are his adopted siblings to worry about. As for killing him, they can resign their place on the council if they feel that way about the person who quite literally saved the village. At least he saved those in the stadium and myself, Sarutobi stated. What about his adopted siblings? They can stay with the Hyuga. Also, Haruno is pushing for a marriage between their daughter and either Sasuke or Naruto. Naruto Uzumaki has made quite an impression on the citizens of Konoha. They are calling him the Demon of the Leaf, and Shukaku's tamer. There are several others. Naruto Uzumaki has turned form pariah to celebrity in the matter of hours. He is credited for defeating the demon container Gaara and helping you in your battle. Several of the minor clans are worried that the Hyuga will become too powerful. Homura commented. I am glad he is getting some notoriety. I did not hear your opinions on Chunin exam. Care to share that with me? Sarutobi asked as he deflected the elder's concerns. Hey Gaki, you married to the pale-eyed girl yet? If not, you could always marry Haku-chan, Zabuza said laughingly as he entered the room. Hinata and Haku both blushed at his statement. Naruto was angry for a second and then smiled at the sight of his friends Zabuza and Haku. So Zabuza-san, are you offering up your daughter to marry me? Naruto said playfully as Haku-chan blushed. I don't know, are you asking? Zabuza replied. Well, I don't know, I do have Hinata Haim. Having two wives might be, how does Shikamaru put it? Troublesome. Hinata and Haku both blushed as Hinata tapped Naruto's left shoulder in a mock hit. So you have already secured a marriage to Hinata-chan? Did you ask Hiashi-sama about this? Zabuza asked, knowing that Hiashi was just outside the room. Well, no. I was going to ask, but I don't think I'm old enough yet to do that sort of thing. Naruto smiled as Hinata hugged Naruto. Given your status now as a hero, it would be hard to refuse you asking for my daughter's hand. But for now I will not give you an answer, Naruto, Hiashi said as he stuck his head in the room. I apologize, Haku-chan, it sounds like Naruto-san is off the market, so to speak. Haku smirked. Only if Hinata-sama is unwilling to share Naruto-kun. Haku replied playfully as she winked at Hinata, who just blushed. The room erupted in laughter as Naruto turned bright red. Hinata hugged Naruto again and kissed him on the cheek. She hit a whisker mark. Naruto's eyes glazed over as he laid back and just grinned. Everyone in the room again laughed. Haku bent over and kissed Naruto on the other cheek and elicited the same reaction from him Hinata did. She then whispered into Hinata's ear. You have nothing to worry about, I have my sights on another strong shinobi, Haku said as she blushed. Chapter 35. Hiashi and Kikyo had waited until the next day before they talked to Sarutobi. I know you have been busy, Hokage-sama, but we have some matters to discuss, Hiashi stated as he and Kikyo sat by Sarutobi's bed. What do you want to discuss, Hiashi? I know you must be busy, Kikyo, with all of those patients that overflowed into the Hyuga compound. The village really does appreciate you allowing those people to recover inside your compound, Hiashi. Sarutobi replied happily. Thank you, Hokage-sama. We do what we can for the village. Now to the matters we need to discuss. Hiashi watched Sarutobi for a sign to continue. Sarutobi nodded. First, when we went to the hospital to help with evacuating patients and personnel there, we found several sound shinobi abducting a couple women. These women were in a seldom used wing. The really strange thing is that both women were thought to be dead years ago. They both are apparently under a strong genjutsu, Hiashi stated. An unused portion of the hospital, you say? I had nothing other than the usual high-security wards in the hospital. I find it odd that people were in such an area. So don't leave me in suspense, who are they? Sarutobi asked. Kushina Uzumaki and Mikoto Uchiha. Hiashi replied with a sour look on his face. I saw both of their bodies when they died, Sarutobi said as he rubbed the bridge of his nose. What is their current condition? Their bodies are mostly strong, especially for being in a coma for years. There is also more disturbing news. Kikyo replied. What could be more than disturbing than people who are supposed to be dead are found alive? Sarutobi asked, almost sure he did not want to hear what Kikyo would have to say. They are both under a strong genjutsu. I am hoping Inoiki can break it. What really is disturbing is that both women were being prepped and appear to have been used as breeders. My guess is that they were hoping to use both women for their strengths, Mikoto for the Sharingan and Kushina for her massive chakra reserves. I feel that this was going to be a breeding program to mix the Uzumaki and Uchiha lines. To what end I do not know. Kikyo replied. Since we can tell you are not behind this, there is only a few people we could think of that would want to do this, Hiashi stated angrily. Dansu or the council could be behind this. Dansu may want to re-establish Root, and the council for not wanting to wait for Sasuke to mature and then have children. This is very disturbing. I want only your clan, the Yaminaka and the boys to know about this. This will also give Naruto a reason to go meet with Tsunade. Do I make myself clear? Sarutobi ordered. Yes, Hokage, but when should we tell Naruto-san and Sasuke about their mothers? Kikyo asked. You can let Naruto know immediately if you like. I would like to wait on Sasuke until Tsunade or Inoiki can help them. Oh, and tell Inoiki that he cannot tell his daughter about this, Sarutobi said sternly, knowing that if Ino knew then the whole village would know. Hi. Hiashi and Kikyo both replied as they left. Inoiki, please come with us if you would, Hiashi stated quietly as Inoiki answered the door to his house. Welcome, Hiashi. What can I do for the Hyuga today? Inoiki asked loudly. Hiashi nodded acknowledgement. The Hokage needs your services as soon as possible. Hiashi replied loudly. It must be important for you to come. Honey, I will be gone for a couple hours. I will see you at dinner tonight, Inoiki yelled back into the house. Okay, we will see you later, sweetie. A voice came from deeper in the house. Bye, Dad. Ino's voice came from the deeper in the house. Bye, Princess. Okay, I am ready to go, Inoiki said as he closed the door behind him. All three quietly walked to the Hyuga compound. They entered via the back gates and walked towards the infirmary. Okay, what is so important that you use the Hokage's name to get me here to your house, Hiashi? Inoiki asked pointedly. We must pick up Naruto-san on our way to our ultimate location. And the Hokage did authorize this little mission, Hiashi said with a furrowed brow. Kikyo poked her head into the room where Naruto, Yugito, Shinbo, and Neji all were laying on their beds. Naruto-kun, Hinata-sama, will you both please come with us? Hinata-sama, can you help Naruto-kun? Kikyo asked politely. Naruto shifted in his bed. He pulled his covers back with his left hand while he grimaced about having to move his broken right hand and arm. Hinata helped as much as she could. She helped steady him as he stood up. He wobbled as he stood and started to walk out of the room. Thanks, Hinata-chan, I think I am a little tipsy right now. Naruto commented with a slight blush. Nice shorts, Niasen, Yugito said with a smirk as she pointed to the hole in Naruto's hospital gown. Naruto chuckled as he leaned on Hinata as they walked out of the room. Hello, Naruto-kun and Hinata-chan, Inoiki stated politely. Naruto bowed his head. Greetings, Yamanaka-sama. Naruto returned the pleasantries. You will forgive me if I don't bow, Yamanaka-sama, as I am helping Naruto-kun, Hinata said politely. Not a problem, Hinata-chan. Now lead on Hiashi-san so we can get this over with. Inoiki sounded annoyed with Hiashi. No comments until we get into the next room, Hiashi said as he led them into the next room. Inoiki gasps when he looked up after entering the room. He waited until the door closed before commenting. When? How? Where did you find them? Inoiki questioned. Who are they, Hiashi-sama? I don't get it, Naruto said with a confused look on his face. Hinata, make sure you have a good hold on Naruto-san. Hiashi warned Hinata. Hiashi walked over to the red-headed woman and put his hand on her shoulder. This Naruto is your mother. Naruto heard nothing after those words. His feet fell out from underneath him, only Hinata was able to hold him up almost standing. She lowered him to nearly kneeling position. She looked into his eyes and saw him lost in thought as tears ran down his face. Hinata brushed his face to try to soothe his emotions. It's okay, Naruto-kun. She quietly whispered. Naruto didn't hear a word. Inoiki looked at Naruto then back to Hiashi. So what are Kushina and Mikoto doing here? Inoiki asked. We found them when several Hyuga and I went to evacuate the hospital. Several sound shinobi were taking them from the hospital. We stopped them and then brought them here. They appear to be under a genjutsu, a powerful one. That is why we needed your help, Inoiki. I talked to the Hokage and he assured me that if he would have known about them he would have done whatever it took to give Naruto his mother back. Our thinking is that it was Dansu, Hiashi said sadly. Naruto slowly stood with the help of Hinata. Naruto stumbled towards Kushina's bed. Hinata set Naruto beside his mother. Naruto reached out with his good hand and stroked her face with the outside of his hand. "Mom!" Naruto just stared at her sleeping form. Hinata stayed close to Naruto and steadied him as his emotions finally came to the surface. Inoiki stood at the base of the bed and made several hand signs. Ninja art, mind exploration jutsu. Inoiki found himself surrounded by clouds. He heard soft whimpering as if someone was crying. Inoiki walked through the mist towards the crying. He saw Kushina crying in a cell that had a seal on the gate where a lock should be. "Kushina, is that you?" Inoiki asked kindly. Frightened eyes shot at Inoiki. "Inoiki, is that you? Where are my children? Where is Minato?" Kushina demanded frantically. "Slow down, Kushina, Naruto is fine. Now let's get you out of that cage and back to the real world," Inoiki said patiently as he broke the seal. "Naruto? What about the others? And Minato?" Kushina asked as the world faded. Kushina slowly opened her eyes as she felt a warm hand caressing her cheek. She saw a boy who looked almost exactly like Minato except for whisker marks and a young Hyuga girl holding him up. She mouthed the word Minato. "Naruto-kun, I think she is awake." The Hyuga girl, Hinata, said to the boy whose eyes lightened up. "Naruto-kun? How can he be so old? Were the others not just my imagination?" Kushina wondered to herself. She weakly raised her arms to enfold the boy, her Naruto-kun. "Gently both of you, Kushina, you have been in a coma for almost 13 years. Also Naruto-san has a broken right arm." Hiyashi told them both. Naruto nodded as he braced himself with his good arm and let his mother weakly hug him. Inoiki scratched his head. "Hiyashi, we need to talk in private," Inoiki said as he motioned both Hiyashi and Kikyo to the back of the room. Kushina was locked in a simple genjutsu, but it would take an outside force for her to break it. She also mentioned other children. "Do either of you know what she may be talking about?" Inoiki quietly questioned. "I don't know, all I know is that they only had Naruto as a child." Hiyashi replied. "Who are they?" Kikyo asked. "This is In's class secret and should not be told to others. Kushina was secretly married to Minato Namikaze, the 4th Hokage. So Kikyo, do you know anything about this?" Hiyashi commented sternly. Kikyo nodded as she understood the meaning of secrecy. "My first examination of both Kushina and Mikoto were interesting to say the least. I have a couple of questions for you gentlemen before I tell you my findings," Kikyo stated professionally as both men nodded. "How were their children delivered?" "All 3 were delivered naturally." "Why?" Hiyashi replied as he looked at Inoiki, who nodded his agreement. "Well, then we have a problem. Kushina seems to have had a couple of cesarean section operations, and Mikoto has had at least one. Both women were healed from this, but I am not sure of how long ago it was. And thank you, Inoiki, for waking Kushina up. It will be a couple days before she will be able to speak unless you want to talk to her with your jutsu. She is weak and will take time to recover. I think she is strong enough for you to talk to her for a little bit at least. I am fairly sure that Mikoto is under the same jutsu as was Kushina, and it should be easier to break as she has been under it for less time." Kikyo replied. "I will give her and Naruto a little time, then I can talk with her. She may be able to shed some light on this whole situation." "You said at least 2 C-sections?" Inoiki asked. "Yes, at least 2. Kikyo smiled weakly as she looked at the mother and son reunion. "Naruto-kun, be careful, you were hurt during the Chunin exams and have not healed," Hinata scolded Naruto. Kushina weakly smiled as Hinata and touched Hinata's leg. Kushina mouthed thank you to Hinata. Hinata nodded and mouthed you are welcome. Naruto pushed himself up and looked into Kushina's eyes. "I missed you, Mom. I was afraid I was alone." Hinata held back her tears as she put a reassuring hand on Naruto. "You have never been alone. I have always watched you, Naruto-kun. Now we have your mother back. This is a joyous day, Naruto-kun," Hinata said, smiling at both the Uzumaki in front of her. "Okay, this is getting too sappy even for me," Inoiki joked. "Kushina, I need to enter your mind to talk to you, will you let me?" "Don't worry, Naruto, this will not hurt and I will not be long," Inoiki stated as Naruto nodded. Hinata helped Naruto into the chair next to Kushina's bed. Inoiki made a couple hand signs, and then sat in a chair next to Kushina. Kushina was sitting Indian style waiting for Inoiki as he showed up. "Okay, spill it. What did Hiyashi mean I was in a genjutsu-induced coma for almost 13 years? Kushina asked angrily. Slow down, Kushina. I know we both have questions and we both need answered. I will go first. It is good to see you after almost 13 years. Your son has missed you as he was told you were dead, Inoiki said calmly. Dead? I have been alive for all this time and Minato and Sarutobi did not look for me? Kushina asked incredulously. Minato died the day the Kyuubi attacked. He sealed it in Naruto and died as a result. I am sorry, Inoiki said with his head lowered. Sarutobi saw your dead body and did not question it at the time. So we all believed you were dead for all this time. I see Naruto has grown into a fine young man, and who is the Hyuga girl with him? And where are my girls, both my girls? Kushina asked. We only know of you having Naruto. And with Minato being dead since is the day of his birth, we are not sure how you would know you had more children. Inoiki shook his head. I met my 2 girls in Naruto. I know each time I made love to Minato and the times I gave birth to each and every one of them. It was several years ago that I gave birth to Yuki, and a few years ago I gave birth to Yoshiko. Kushina smiled as she remembered fondly the birth of her children. Her face then turned angry. Then Dansu and several others cornered Minato and they then put me in that cage you found me in. I wonder where Minato went to. Kushina looked very sad. But if what you say is true, then Minato being dead all those years. Did I ever have the girls? And if so, who was the father? We found evidence that you had at least 2 C-sections. That would mean you were pregnant at least twice, so you may have actually known your 2 daughters. As for the father, I am not sure if it was Minato, as Dansu could have used artificial insemination on you and then had a cesarean performed on you when you came to term. The person who did the genjutsu would have given you memories so that you would not have to deal with the trauma at the time. I will need to wake Mikoto Uchiha soon. And I will keep in touch with you. For now, just enjoy your time with Naruto and Hinata. Inoiki informed Kushina. The mindscape shifted back to the outside world. Kushina looked over at Naruto and put her hand out for him to hold and weakly smiled. Naruto-kun, I am sorry I missed so much. Kushina thought as her world slowly went black. Kikyo-san. She blacked out, will she be okay? Naruto worriedly yelled. Kikyo ran over to Kushina and checked her out. Kikyo then sighed. She has just fallen asleep, Naruto-kun. There is no need to worry. Kikyo replied with a kind smile. Inoiki put a reassuring hand on Mikoto's shoulder and nodded. Mikoto went to sleep. Outside, a redhead appears to be running from an Anbu. You will not get away. The rat-masked Anbu yells. No, she is heading towards the Hyuga compound. This could be trouble. The man threw several shuriken at the girl, with one hitting the girl on the arm. She yelped in pain as she cleared the complex wall and landed in a heap next to a dark-haired girl. Help me. The redhead pleaded. Hanabi was practicing in the gardens when the girl had cleared the wall and collapsed near her. Father, I need help out here, Hanabi yelled. The Anbu landed near the girls and grinned evilly behind his mask. Lady Hanabi, please stand back and allow me to capture this criminal. The man asked as his voice seethed with anger. Why would an Anbu be chasing a young girl? Hanabi asked as she got into her Juken stance. Ah, the Juken, how good are you with it? I am sure you are better than your pathetic sister. It will be a pleasure to eliminate one of the main branch, so when Root takes over the Hyuga will be equals. The man said as he got into his own Juken stance. I see you are a member of the branch family and feel nothing but hatred towards the main branch. Well, you will not have long to suffer from your stupidity, Hanabi said with a smirk as she stood and left her stance, crossing her arms. As usual, arrogance of the main branch knows no bounds. Now you die. Ah. The man collapsed in pain just as he started to run at Hanabi. Hyashi was standing behind the man, holding his left hand up with pointer and middle finger pointed up. Apparently not as much arrogance as some of the side branch members have. So Root is after this girl. Kikyo, treat the girl and get her to the infirmary. Inoiki and I will deal with this traitor, Hyashi said as he only applied enough chakra to the curse seal to immobilize the man. Wait, I must talk to the girl, she may be one of the ones we are looking for. Wait, Kikyo, I need to ask her a question, Inoiki said as he caught up with Kikyo. Girl, if I may ask, what is your name? Thank you for your help, my name is Yuki. Please go help my little sister and her friend, they are in an abandoned building 3 blocks to the east of here. Please hurry. Yuki pleaded with Inoiki. Inoiki looked at Hyashi, who nodded as Inoiki then disappeared. Now Rat, you will tell me all you know about Root. And don't spare any of the details. Hanabi, please go inform your sister that we will be having more guests. Have the Uzumaki move to their rooms, Hyashi stated as he closed on the Anbu. Now where were we? Hanabi looked at her father. As you wish, father, I will inform Naruto Niazan and his siblings. Hanabi replied as she bowed and then left the area. Inoiki got to the abandoned building and saw an Anbu with an eagle mask and the kanji for root on it. Inoiki made several hand signs as the Anbu passed out. After searching for a couple minutes, he found two young girls no older than 4 huddled in a corner. Inoiki slowly approached with his both hands up. I am Inoiki Yamanaka. I want to take you to your mother's. Would you like that? Also, Yuki is safe, she is the one who told me you were here. I will protect so that we can get safely to the Hyuga compound. You both will see your mothers again and it will be safe there, Inoiki said with a smile. Both girls got up and ran to Inoiki, who accepted them in an embrace. Inoiki turned as he noticed a presence behind him. Kotetsu was behind him. Thanks for helping us take out the trash. Do you need any more help with escort? I have 6 regular Anbu. We have taken the root Anbu that you disabled into custody. The 4 others we got are also going to Ibiki as we speak. Hyashi sent for me as backup. I would like that. How many Anbu did you say you had? Inoiki asked. 6. Come out guys, we are on guard duty, Kotetsu said happily as 6 masked figures appeared out of the shadows. Let's get these girls back to their families. Chapter 36, Reunion and the search for Tsunade begins. Naruto saw a red-headed girl being brought down to his former bed. Hanabi had arrived to let Naruto, Yugito and Shinbo know they could move back to their own personal rooms. Naruto had told everyone in the room that his mother had been found and he had met her. Naruto's heart went out the girl when he saw the blood drip from her and he wondered what type of wound she had received. Hinata put Naruto in the chair and come help me. Kikyo ordered. Hi. Hinata replied as she put Naruto in the chair next to the girl. Kikyo quickly removed the dirty and torn shirt from the girl. Naruto looked at the girl's face and thought he saw something familiar about her but could not place it. Hinata, I need you to apply the gauze to the wound when remove the shuriken. And put pressure on the wound until I can heal it. Do you understand? Kikyo demanded as Hinata nodded. Kikyo and Hinata worked on the girl for about 20 minutes until they had removed all 7 shuriken from the girl. Kikyo and Hinata stripped off the girl's pants and put her in a hospital gown. Naruto watched the women as they worked and was impressed with both of their skills. Thank you Hinata for helping me, this would have taken a lot longer and she would not be in as good of shape as she is now. And thank you Naruto for your patience with us for having to deal with Yuki. Kikyo complimented Naruto. Naruto nodded and smiled. Thank you Kikyo-san, but I had nowhere to go and I was truly fascinated by both of your ability to work together and to take care of Yuki here. She is lucky she came when she did. Hinata-chan could have been on the other side of the compound putting me in bed. I am glad we were here so that Hinata-chan could help, Naruto said with a blush. Inoiki walked in with 2 more girls, a very young blonde and a raven-haired girl. The blonde ran up to Yuki yelling Ni-chan. Please be alright Ni-chan. Naruto rubbed the girl's head with his left hand. She is in good hands with Kikyo-san and Hinata-chan, Naruto said with a reassuring smile. The blonde looked directly at Inoiki. Okay Ni-chan is okay. Where is Ka-san? The girl demanded. Okay Yoshiko, Naruto, why don't you come along too? You will find this interesting. Inoiki replied the girl. Naruto looked at Kikyo and Hinata longingly. Go, I can handle it here. Both of you go. She will be okay, I will let you know if there is any change. Kikyo assured Naruto. Hinata helped Naruto to his feet as they followed Inoiki. Why are they coming to see Ka-san? Yoshiko asked. You will find out soon Yoshiko-chan. Inoiki responded kindly. Naruto was surprised when they turned into the room where his mother and Mikoto were resting. Ka-san. Both girls yelled as they ran to either of the women sleeping. Both girls turned to Inoiki. What is wrong with her? Both girls asked in unison. They are both sleeping. Inoiki answered with a smile. Inoiki kneeled next to Yoshiko and put his hand on her head. Yoshiko-chan, I would like you to meet Naruto-kun, your older brother, Inoiki said as he pointed at Naruto. Yoshiko tentatively pointed at Naruto. He is my Niazan? How can that be? I have never met him. Yoshiko replied as if in shock. Naruto looked at Inoiki as if to question. They are my sisters? Inoiki nodded. With Hinata's help Naruto kneeled. Yoshiko-chan is your name? Naruto asked as Yoshiko nodded. Well. The woman behind you is my Ka-san too. So that would make me your brother. Would you like to have a brother? Naruto asked, almost not wanting to hear a negative response. Yoshiko looked as if in thought. Boys are icky. But if you are a nice brother then I guess it will be okay. Yoshiko responded happily. Naruto chuckled. I will try to be a nice brother for you and Yuki. We do have another brother and sister, I adopted them. Actually they adopted me in a way. Would you like to meet them while our mother is sleeping? Naruto asked with a smile. Oh, and this is my really good friend Hinata-chan, Naruto said as he nodded towards Hinata. Yoshiko bowed to Hinata. A plea. Please. I am happy to meet you, Yoshiko finally said, frustrated that she could not say what she wanted to say. I am pleased to meet you also, Yoshiko-chan. Hinata replied politely. Shall we go so Naruto-kun can also get some rest and we don't wake up your mother? You go, I will keep an eye on Sora-chan, Inoiki said as he sat in a chair behind a whimpering Sora. We will go meet with Sasuke and the third after Mikoto wakes up. I don't know how to thank you, Inoiki-sama. You brought back my mother and then you brought me a couple of sisters. I just don't know how to thank you, Naruto said as a few tears fell from his face. Naruto-kun, let's get you back to your room and we can visit with Yoshiko, Yugito, and Shinbo. Hinata coaxed Naruto into leaving with Yoshiko. So Niazan, where are we? Why do we not live in the same house? Why is your arm that way? Who are Yugito and Shinbo? Why are her eyes all lavender? Huh? Huh? Yoshiko asked as they walked along. Naruto looked at Hinata. Was I ever like that? Naruto asked in a whisper. Hinata smiled warmly and blushed. Yes, or like that when it comes to ramen or jutsu, Hinata said with a chuckle. Naruto took a deep breath and let out a sigh. We are in the Hyuga house and this is Hinata Hyuga, my teammate and best friend. As for living in the same house, we have not known about each other until now. I thought I was all alone. Yugito and Shinbo are two people I met while I was on a mission and we had a lot in common, so we became a family of sorts. Hinata is a Hyuga and all Hyuga either have white, silverish, or lavender eyes, that is part of being Hyuga. Ah, we are at Yugito's room, Naruto stated happily. Hinata knocked gently. Yugito-chan, it is Naruto-kun and I, we also have an interesting guest. Can we come in? Hinata asked through the door. Just a minute, I am not decent, Yugito yelled back through the door. If it was just Naruto-kun and Hinata-chan I would be fine, but a guest, geez, where are my shirts? Was heard from behind the door as Yugito grumbled about having a guest. Okay, you can come in. Yugito is wrapped in bandages and considers Naruto a brother, so seeing her torso wrapped in bandages would not bother her. Hinata slid the door open and they entered. They saw Yugito sitting on the bed with Hanabi. Naruto Niazan, Hinata-chan, I am happy to see you so soon. Who is this? She is adorable, Yugito said with a squeal. Hinata set Naruto down on Yugito's bed near the headboard so he could lean against the wall. Hinata then sat down beside Naruto and smiled at him. Yugito, Hanabi, this is Yoshiko, my little sister. Yoshiko, this is Yugito, my adopted sister, and this is Hanabi, is Hinata's sister, Naruto said quietly. A moment later the noise was nearly deafening with all the questions the girls were asking. Naruto could only just shake his head as he rested against the headboard. We have lost them all, Dansu-sama. A raven-masked Anbu stated as he bowed before Dansu. This is not good. We must not have our plans pushed aside. The Uchiha boy is still valuable even injured. He could still be able to rebuild the clan. Dansu continued to look stoic. Dansu, a man of few words and several severe injuries, a couple so severe he lost his left arm and eye. I am thinking I must challenge Sarutobi, else all we have worked for will be destroyed. Either that or Sarutobi must die. I am deeply sorry, Dansu-sama, we were not expecting the Uzumaki girl to be able to run and take the other two with her. We also lost 8 root operatives including our only Hyuga recruit. He is now with Ibiki and Hiyashi. They more than likely will find out that you have not disbanded Root, sir, Raven stated, waiting for orders. The council will protect me for now. I want Naruto Uzumaki to be captured as soon as possible. Dansu ordered. Hi. Raven replied and then disappeared. Sarutobi, we must talk, Koharu stated as she entered Sarutobi's hospital room. And what can I do for my old teammates at this late hour? Sarutobi stated, annoyed that both Koharu and Homura had barged into his hospital room at nearly midnight. Sarutobi had just finished his paperwork from his office and wanted to get some sleep. What are the old windbags up to? Sarutobi thought. It is time to find a successor, Homura stated. Sarutobi smiled as he had them right where he wanted them. I thought the very same thing, so I am nominating Naruto Uzumaki. What do you think? Sarutobi asked with a smile and a glimmer in his eye. Homura looked as if he was going to have a heart attack and Koharu looked like she was having a stroke. You don't like my choice for the next Hokage? Why not? Sarutobi asked jokingly and acting like he was hurt. Please Sarutobi, do not joke about something as important as the position of Hokage. Why would we ever consider that child for the position of Hokage, ever? I would just as soon put Sasuke Uchiha in as he currently is as Hokage than Naruto Uzumaki. Homura asked. We know you favor the boy, but the safety of the village is at stake here. We suggest that you nominate Dansu as acting Hokage until we get word from Jiraiya as to whether Tsunade Hime will accept the position, Koharu stated more gently. I will take it under consideration, Sarutobi stated bluntly. Please see that you do, old friend, as we could have the council give a no-confidence vote on your tenure at Hokage, Homura stated a little too bluntly for Sarutobi's and Koharu's tastes as both scowled at the man. Are you threatening me, your Hokage? Sarutobi questioned, letting out so much killing intent that the Anbu station close and in his room appeared immediately. I take what you said as a personal threat, Homura-san. I am hoping for our friendship it was not. Now leave my sight, I have other appointments and do not need to be bothered by threats from old men. Sarutobi unceremoniously dismissed them with a wave of his hand. If you will please follow us. A bare-faced Anbu showed Homura and Koharu the door. They met Hiashi, Kurenai, Kikyo, and Jiraiya as they left. And we missed the Old Crow's convention, Jiraiya joked, which caused Hiashi to smirk. Kikyo and Kurenai to both chuckled. Jiraiya waved to the elders as they walked down the hall. Jiraiya waited until he entered the room and shut the door before speaking. I see they again have left you in a great mood, sensei. At least you can joke at time like this. They want me to put Dansu in as temporary Hokage until you bring Tsunade back. They even had the nerve to threaten a no-confidence vote on me as Hokage, Sarutobi said as his anger started to abate. Well, our news may not bring you into a better mood. But we do have some useful information, Hiashi stated bluntly. Okay, I'm game with information. I shared mine, now you share yours, Sarutobi said jokingly. Yes, Hokage-sama. As you know, we found both Kushina Uzumaki and Mikoto Uchiha being taken from the supposedly abandoned wing of the hospital when we were going to evacuate the survivors, Hiashi recounted. Yes, I remember, you saying they have been under long-term genjutsu. Sarutobi replied. Yes, they both were under genjutsu. Inoiki was able to break the genjutsu. There are more complications, Hiashi said as he sighed. Okay, what are they? I know I really don't want to know, but let me have it anyways, Sarutobi sighed out his opinion. Kikyo took a step forward. It appears that there are more Uzumaki and Uchiha than we thought there were before. Kikyo raised a hand to forestall the Hokage's next question. It appears that Mikoto was at least a month or so pregnant when the Uchiha massacre happened. Her daughter Sora is a healthy 4-year-old. Kushina has been artificially inseminated twice. She has 2 daughters, Yuki and Yoshiko. They are a healthy 8 and 4-year-olds. We are running tests as Kushina claims the children are Minato's. We will know if they are by tomorrow. They have taken to Naruto just fine, and has he taken to them too? Kushina and Mikoto are resting comfortably right now and under the protection of both Anbu and the Hyuga. Kikyo finished her report. This is disturbing that Kushina was used to produce children. Is there more? Sarutobi asked concerned. I am afraid so. I captured one of the Anbu root member following the girls as they apparently escaped from the root headquarters. Leave it up to an Uzumaki to figure out how to escape a prison with people who have no emotions. Dansu wants power and apparently he at least has your old teammates behind him. I am worried about all the Uzumaki, Uchiha and Hyuga if they ever get in control. Can't you just have them killed by another village and call it an accident? Jiraiya asked jokingly. Jiraiya, we can't just go killing our disloyal elders, we would be no better than Orochimaru. Also, I would need more proof to be able to do that. I would need enough to prove treason. Sarutobi chided his student. Ah, come on, it might be fun. And he could be right about at least one thing for once, Jiraiya joked. It is people like Dansu and your former teammate that have caused Naruto such grief over the years. How could it not be good to remove them from society? They are evil and they do not apparently have good intentions for the village, Hiashi continued Jiraiya's tirade. Both of you, that will be enough out of you. Sarutobi ordered. Now I want you, Jiraiya to take Naruto and Hinata to find Tsunade. Why take the girl? Jiraiya asked. As you remember, she is also a type of Jinchuriki. Sarutobi asked as Jiraiya nodded. According to Hiashi, her tenant will be fully healed in about a week or so. I want her away from the village when that happens. If she lets off a large chakra blast as she sinks with her seal, Dansu will know who it is and move to take her. Also, it would be a good outing for the happy couple. You can train them while you look for Tsunade. They both have great potential and we will need them later on. You also approve of me, taking your daughter out of the village? Jiraiya asked Hiashi, who only nodded. That works fine for my team as Shino will be out for a month as he integrates a new hive into his body, Kurenai stated. Also make sure that Hinata returns as pure as when she left and has not been subjected to any of your perversion, Kurenai threatened. What? She is too young and heck she is betrothed to Naruto, like I would want to further that right now. And Naruto always seems to disrupt my research anyways. Okay, I will take them. Hiashi, I would keep a real close eye on both Yugito and Shinbo. If Dansu figures out we have 3 demon container and 1 celestial container, he will force us into a fight with the other villages using their power, and more than likely killing them in the process, Jiraiya said as everyone realized he did appreciate and have concern for the containers. We will keep a protective eye on all of the Uzumaki. Kushina and the girls are going to be angry that you are taking Naruto away from them so soon after they were reunited. Hiashi promised. It can't be helped. According to my sources, Akatsuki is on the move. They will want Naruto and the others if they find them. Keep the other 2 hidden. We do not want to lose them to Akatsuki. The family will have some downtime when I return. Oh, I would keep Sasuke in the dark until after I get back. Naruto had fallen asleep in the greeting area with both Hinata and Yoshiko. Naruto had his head tilted to the left and was on Hinata's. Hinata was asleep against his left shoulder. Yoshiko had fallen asleep with her head on Naruto's lap. Hiashi and Kikyo smiled as they saw the sight of the children sleeping. Kikyo and Hiashi put blankets on all the children but carefully lifted Yoshiko's head so that Kikyo could cover Naruto. Kikyo smiled as she put a hand on Hiashi's arm. They look cute, don't they? Hiashi nodded as they left the room and turned the lights off. We will check on them in the morning. Naruto woke up the next morning and realized he had fallen asleep sitting up. He felt weight on his lap and his arm wrapped around something to his left. He slowly opened his eyes and noticed a blue-black mop of hair leaning up against his shoulder. He then noticed a yellow mop on his lap. Smiling, he remembered last night, neither Hinata nor Yoshiko would leave his side, so instead of going to his room he went to the greeting room. Apparently they had all fallen asleep and someone had put blankets on all of them. Naruto smiled as felt the affection of Hinata and his newly found younger sister. Hinata-chan, Yoshiko-chan, time to wake up, Naruto said quietly. Hinata stirred first by creasing her brow and talking. No, Naruto-kun, let me sleep with a little longer. Hopefully father won't find us. Hinata then smiled and kissed him gently on the cheek. She then lowered her head back to his shoulder. Hinata-chan, we are in the greeting room and could get caught by almost anyone, Naruto said playfully. That is what makes this exciting, Naruto-kun, Hinata said, still not awake, and snuggled deeper into Naruto. Naruto blushed at the possible implications of Hinata's dream. Yoshiko shifted. They scare me, One-ichan. Please protect me, Yoshiko yelled as she brought her hands in front of her face. This woke Hinata from her dream to see the blonde girl on Naruto's lap scream. Naruto shifted and grabbed Yoshiko's shoulder and brought her into a hug. You are okay. I will protect you, Naruto said as he tried to be as reassuring as possible. Yuki, where are you and Ka-san? Yoshiko opened her eyes and was surprised to see worried blue eyes that looked like hers. She then remembered her brother Naruto, and laid her head in his chest and cried. Naruto did all he could to try to soothe his sister. Hinata even tried to help. After about 20 minutes, Yoshiko had calmed enough for Naruto and Hinata to take her to Kushina's room. Kushina was awake and opened her arms. Yoshiko immediately ran to her mother, who embraced her with a single arm. Naruto hesitated as Kushina nodded at Naruto, who walked up into her gentle embrace. Hinata put her hand in front of her mouth to hide her sadness and happiness from playing on her face as tears ran down her face. I am happy for you, Naruto-kun. Hinata suddenly doubled over in apparent pain. Naruto-kun. Was all she could spill forth from her mouth, but it was only a whisper. Naruto felt something tug at him and he turned his head to see Hinata double over in pain. Kushina saw Hinata's distress and let Naruto go. Naruto was at her side immediately. Hinata-chan, what is wrong? Are you okay? Naruto worriedly asked as he put his hand on her back and attempted to keep her from collapsing on the floor. Kikyo, we need some help in here now, Naruto yelled as his eyes became damp with moisture. Kikyo, Naruto yelled again, worry written all over his face. Kikyo came running in only a nightshirt and panties. What is it, Naruto? She asked frantically until she saw Hinata crouched in pain. She kneeled beside Hinata and started to ask questions. Are you in pain? Hinata nodded. Where does it hurt? Hinata pointed to her stomach. Can I take a look? Hinata sat down gently with Kikyo and Naruto's help. Kikyo opened Hinata's night kimono, not realizing she was only wearing panties beneath. Naruto saw Hinata's bare chest and blushed profusely. He then saw the seal on Hinata's stomach as it glowed a dark purple. Naruto fumbled with his own kimono and opened it. Hinata-chan and Haim need our help. Naruto thought to the fox. Naruto's seal appeared on his stomach and red chakra leaked out and touched Hinata's seal. Kikyo watched as Naruto's eyes rolled into the back of his head and a look of utter pain washed over his face. Naruto gritted his teeth. A few seconds later, Hinata's seal turned lavender and faded. The red chakra receded and Naruto collapsed next to Hinata. Hinata went limp at the same moment. Yoshiko and Kushina had looks of fear and terror on their faces. What is wrong with Niazan? Yoshiko asked frantically. You will have to wait for an explanation later. Orderly, get Hashi and Jiraiya here immediately, Kikyo yelled as she gently set Hinata down and closed her kimono to preserve her dignity. Hashi came running down the hall a few moments later. What is wrong? What happened? He asked frantically as he saw both Naruto and Hinata lying on the floor. Hashi also noticed Yoshiko had her head buried in Kushina's embrace as Kushina wore a worried look. I will explain it all soon, Kushina-chan. Hashi spoke as Kushina just nodded. Jiraiya entered a couple minutes later. What happened? It looks like it is time for the seal to merge with Hinata. We need to get her out of town today. Naruto did something to help avert something, but it seemed to hurt him as much as it hurt her. They need to leave today, Kikyo stated as an orderly wrapped a lab coat around Kikyo. Jiraiya nodded. Hashi have their stuff ready by noon, we leave then. I want to put some distance between Konoha and us before this happens again. Are you going to come along, Kikyo, to monitor Hinata? Jiraiya asked. I will go with you until Hinata is out of the woods and then I will return as I have too many patients to stay away from the village for more than a week. Kikyo answered. Okay, I will make all the preparations. I will send an escort out before you and after you for a few miles outside the village. That should deter anyone from pulling something, Hashi stated. Chapter 37, The Binding Ceremony, well sort of. Naruto had quickly said goodbye to his mother and sisters. He also asked Hanabi to watch over them for him. Yuki was very annoyed that she did not get to spend any time with Naruto and get to know him. Naruto told them that Hashi would tell them everything. Hinata was not feeling well, as she continued to have small chakra pulses emanating from the seal and this caused her a lot of pain, so she was quite ready to leave when the time came. They left quietly and with as little fanfare as possible as only Kiba marked their passing. They made it about 10 miles outside of town before Hinata could go no further from the pain. Naruto-kun, I can't suppress it anymore. It feels like my chakra coils are going to explode, Hinata said in tears as Naruto cradled her in his lap. Can't you do anything, Uro-sennin? Naruto implored. Let me take a look at her seal, Jiraiya stated as Hinata nodded. Naruto shifted her a little and lifted her shirt to reveal the dark purple seal. I got it. Jiraiya pulled out a kunai and pricked Hinata's thumb. He took the blood and carefully wiped it on what appeared to be a missing part of the seal. There, that should help. The blood suddenly turned purple as Hinata arched her back as a wave of chakra hit her. Jiraiya was thrown back as Naruto held onto her for dear life. Naruto's hands started to tingle as he noticed lavender chakra begin to seep out of Hinata. Naruto looked inward. I think we need to use your chakra to protect us. Naruto thought to the fox as red chakra flowed out of him. I agree. First we need to deal with Haim and Hinata's merging, then we can deal with the surprise. Kyubi responded with a chuckle. Hinata screamed in pain and for several minutes. After a few more minutes the pain seemed to subside as her screams became a whimpers. Hinata, still apparently in pain, reached up and grabbed Naruto's face. She kissed him full on the lips. Thank you, Naruto-kun. You and Kyubi helped us both, Hinata said as she leaned into Naruto's neck and promptly fell asleep. The lavender chakra subsided and Naruto released his red chakra at the same time. Naruto looked up and saw Jiraiya extracting himself out of a tree. Good thing we were not in the village. I am thinking we will need to camp for the rest of the day and tonight. Naruto suggested. Naruto stood still holding Hinata and carried her towards Jiraiya. I would agree, both you and she need rest. I am sure Haim put a strain on her chakra network. My guess is her chakra control is going to be as bad as yours is, and it might even a little worse than yours. I have an exercise that will help you both with chakra control and is a neat jutsu. It requires no hand signs, so even you can learn it, Jiraiya said as they started to walk down the road. We will find a good place to make camp, then we will let her rest. Sounds good. Naruto replied cheerfully. The once powerful village of Konoha, it seems to have fallen upon hard times. A tall man in a black cloak with red clouds stated. Konoha was hit hard by this invasion but will prosper again. We must be careful in our observations. We need to keep a low profile. Understand, Kisame? The smaller figure wearing a similar cloak ordered. Yeah, I got it. So you feel nostalgic coming back to your village? Kisame asked. I have no feeling either way, because we have work to do. The smaller figure replied. Kikyo and Hyashi brought Yoshiko and Yuki into Kushina's room. Yuki sat in a wheelchair with an annoyed look on her face. Kushina looked up and smiled at her guests. Mikoto was taking a nap and did not stir at the entrance of the guests. Kushina, the results are back from the paternity tests. He is their father. I am sure they used artificial insemination, but he is the father, Kikyo stated as Kushina sighed relief at the news. Who is my father? Mom would never tell us other than that he was a good man. Yuki implored. Yes, your father was a good man, but we cannot tell you as he had many enemies and you would be in danger. So without a doubt I can say that Naruto and you girls have the same father and mother, Hyashi stated. He then looked directly at Kushina. The agreement stands. They will be told when they are 16. Kushina nodded her understanding. What agreement and who are you talking about? Yuki asked. That information was not for you, Yuki-chan, Hyashi stated with a smile. That is no fun. Yuki pouted. Now for the more important news, Hyashi stated as he took a deep breath and then let it out. Kushina, the Yondaime did the sealing, Hyashi stated as gently as possible as Kushina gasped and put her hand to her mouth. She shook her head from side to side as tear flowed down her face. Mommy, what's wrong? What did you say to hurt Mommy? Yoshiko yelled at Hyashi. This is a village secret and we need you to understand that if you tell others it could hurt your brother very badly. Hyashi sternly stated. Yoshiko gulped and nodded. Yuki nodded. I do not know if you have been taught history or not, but nearly 13 years ago the demon fox, the Kyuubi, attacked Konoha. Minato Namikaze the fourth Hokage battled the demon fox. Hyashi started his story. Mommy, this is scary, Yoshiko exclaimed as she buried her head in Kushina's chest. Kushina wrapped her daughter in a hug and smiled warmly at Yoshiko. Well, no mortal can kill a demon. But there are ways to deal with them nonetheless, Hyashi continued his story as Kushina began to cry. The day the Kyuubi attacked we lost many fine shinobi and quite a few villagers. Most everyone hates the Kyuubi for what it did. Mommy, why are you crying? Yoshiko asked. She looked into her mother's eyes. Kushina's eyes showed deep hurt and sorrow. Because she understands the story. Hyashi commented. That figures. She was alive then, Yuki stated. Well, as I was explaining. Your mother was pregnant at the time of the attack. She gave birth to your brother that afternoon. The fourth Hokage knew the only way to stop the demon and used that knowledge. He sealed the demon, Hyashi continued only to be interrupted. What, you can't kill it but you can seal it? That sounds too easy, Yuki stated. No, it is not easy as it required two things. One, the life of the Hokage, and second, it required a newborn child, Hyashi said, his head hung low. Kushina burst into tears, crying out loud. No. No. Not Naruto Niazan. Yuki commented as she shook her head and tears formed at the corners of her eyes. Yoshiko ran from her mother's bedside and started to hit Hyashi. You hurt Mommy. Hyashi knelt down and wrapped Yoshiko into a hug. I am just telling you what happened. It hurts because she is not happy with what happened. The fourth Hokage sealed the demon into your brother. The fourth was a bad man. He hurt Niazan, Yoshiko yelled into Hyashi's robes as she continued to hit him and cried her little heart out. Hyashi smiled warmly at the devotion the young Uzumaki had to her brother so soon after meeting him. Kakashi stood leaning against the entrance of a dengo stand. Inside, two figures wearing black cloaks with red clouds sat and ate dengo and drank tea. Yo! Kakashi raised his voice to get the attention of Kurenai and Asuma. Don't you two look chummy? Kurenai looked away with a slight blush. I was just going to get some dengo for Anko. She asked me to. Kurenai responded in an angry tone. So what are you doing out of around town so early? Asuma asked. I was meeting Sasuke, but something from out of town caught my eye. Kakashi hinted as he looked into the dengo stand. Kurenai and Asuma both nodded. Sasuke ran up wearing a cast. Hey Kakashi, you're early. Why are you here? I hate sweets. The three Jonin turned to greet Sasuke. They all turned back to see the men in cloaks gone. Kurenai and Asuma both nodded and shunshined away. Sasuke wore a confused look upon his face. What was that all about? I am told Hyuga wants to see you. Kakashi deftly diverted Sasuke's question. Why? I have inclination towards his daughters and I don't want to see Naruto today, Sasuke stated bluntly. You mean you don't want to fight Naruto? Kakashi asked incredulously. No, I have a broken arm. Why would I want to fight him in a weakened state? Sasuke retorted. You would then be fighting on even ground. His arm was totally shattered, so the fight would be fair, Kakashi said jokingly as he knew Naruto's arm was soon to be fully healed by the fox. So why does Hyuga want to see me? Sasuke asked again more sternly. Maybe he wants to marry you off to his daughter Hanabi. Kakashi continued his game of duck and avoid the question. She is too young for me. I would prefer Hinata over Hanabi, Sasuke said with a smirk. Ah, but she is already taken and even betrothed. And it isn't up to you, so she is off the list, Kakashi continued the banter. Why does Hiashi want to see me? Sasuke asked very angrily. I know but I can't tell you. Kakashi sung out his answer. You will have to find that out yourself. Sasuke annoyed turned and headed to the Hyuga compound. Ah, Kurenai, Yuhi and Asuma Sarutobi, it has been a while, Itachi stated bluntly. Kurenai and Asuma looked at each other. If you know who we are then you must be from this village, Asuma stated. Itachi took off his straw hat and set it on the ground. He started unbuttoning his cloak. You are right, I am from this village. Itachi responded. What are you doing here, you bastard? Asuma asked angrily. We are here to collect a friend, he is wanted by our organization, Akatsuki, Itachi stated. Kisame took off his hat and set it on the ground. If we are doing introductions, Itachi, why should I be left out? Kisame questioned. Kisame Hoshigaki, missing nin from the Hidden Mist village, Kurenai stated. Kisame bows with a toothy grin. My reputation precedes me. I am honored that you know who I am. Kisame states graciously. Watch yourself, Kisame, they are not pushovers. Itachi warned Kisame. Kisame swings his large sword at Kurenai and is blocked by Asuma and his trench knives. That wasn't nice to attack a woman, Asuma said with a grin. Let's let the fighters figure out who is the best match, Kisame stated with a toothy grin. Kurenai makes some hand signs and disappears. Itachi looks up as a tree wrapped around him and Kurenai appears just above him with a kunai in hand. Such a simple genjutsu will not work on me. Itachi bluntly stated. Kurenai appears within her own tree in the position that Itachi was in and he is now where she was. Counter genjutsu, this has to be the power of the Sharingan. Have to break it or I am dead. Kurenai bit her own lip. This drew blood and thus enabled her to break the genjutsu. Itachi kicked Kurenai onto the river they were standing next to. I am glad to see you know how to get out of your own genjutsu. Itachi praised Kurenai. Enough, Kisame said just after receiving a cut to the face from Asuma from a chakra extension of his trench knives. Water style, water dragon jutsu. Kisame states as a water dragon forms but is quickly destroyed by a second water dragon. Wondered when you would get here, Kakashi, Asuma stated smiling. Had to deliver Sasuke to the Hyuga compound for a surprise, Kakashi stated. Kurenai, close your eyes and don't open them, there is only one way to fight the Sharingan and that is with a Sharingan. A second Kakashi stated standing by Kurenai. I see you used a shadow clone. Very inventive Kakashi, but it will not save you. You cannot match me in the use of the Sharingan. Mine was born to me and yours is just a pale imitation, Itachi said with a smirk. Why are you here? It's because of Naruto, isn't it? Well, you can't have him. I will lay down my life for him, and I figure you only have a few more moments before this area is crawling with Onbu, Kakashi stated and revealed his own Sharingan while he closed his normal eye. Have you mastered all the secrets of the Sharingan, Kakashi? Itachi said. Kurenai, get back, Kakashi yelled as he pulled Kurenai away from Itachi just as Itachi exploded. I won't let you have him, Itachi. Kakashi growled. It is not up to you, Kakashi. But I will leave a parting gift. Tsukiyomi, Itachi stated as Kakashi fell to his knees a few moments later and started to sink into the river. Guy appeared and picked up Kakashi. Itachi, you do not scare me as I know how to fight the Sharingan. Guy proclaimed. I see. Well, be that as it may, Kisame, we must go now. I am tired from this little excursion and our target is not here. Itachi called back to Kisame. And just when I was starting to have some fun, Kisame stated happily. Maybe next time we can play longer. Well, until next time, Kisame laughed as he disappeared. Should we go after him? Asuma questioned Guy. No, we need to get Kakashi looked at. Naruto will be okay as he is with Jiraiya. Guy replied as the Jonin jumped towards the hospital. Okay Hiyashi, I am here, what do you want? And no, I don't want to wed your daughters, Sasuke stated bluntly. Sasuke-san, do not talk to me in that manner. I am your elder and a clan head. We are equals at least, and I am of higher rank at best. I am sure your mother would not approve of how you are treating me, Hiyashi scolded Sasuke. Whatever. Sasuke retorted. I am not sure you are ready for what I have for you. And I would never have a Hyuga marry an Uchiha, especially one of my daughters. Now follow me. Hiyashi ordered and Sasuke complied. Hiyashi led Sasuke into the medical wing of the Hyuga complex. They stopped in front of a door. What is behind this door is a village secret and you will treat it as such or you will be punished severely. Hiyashi warned Sasuke as he opened the door. Sasuke saw an empty bed, but the curtains between beds were drawn and there was someone behind the curtain in the second bed. Sasuke walked around the curtain only to fall to his knees with what he saw. Naruto sat by the fire with Hinata's head in his lap. She looks like she is in pain, Naruto said sadly. I am not sure, I have fixed her seal so as to fix any problems with the merging of the seal. That is all I can do, I am sorry. Jiraiya quietly stated. She will be fine. The pain is from Hyme expanding her chakra system. It is painful, but she will not be permanently hurt from this. I figure they should be better tomorrow morning. Weak but better, Kyuubi consoled Naruto in his mind. Guess you both are right as there is nothing we can do but just wait, Naruto said to no one in particular. Jiraiya looked at Naruto with a funny look. What do you mean both of you? Jiraiya questioned. You and Kyuubi, both of you are telling me to wait and see, Naruto said with a sad smile. I just am impatient. Naruto admitted. The next morning had Jiraiya giggling like a madman. He was watching Hinata snuggling up to Naruto like a teddy bear. She had a smile a mile wide while she slept. Naruto didn't seem to mind the closeness of Hinata and actually appeared to be snuggling closer to her. Hiyashi is going to flip when he sees these pictures, Jiraiya said with a silly grin. Jiraiya started to cook breakfast and thus caused Naruto and Hinata to wake up. Ready to go find a Sannin? Jiraiya asked as he handed both Naruto and Hinata plates of food. Naruto and Hinata noticed that they were snuggled up together and both their faces turned bright red. You know you two are supposed to be married if you are going to be sleeping together, Jiraiya joked. Hinata gasped and blushed even harder. Naruto blushed then turned really angry at Jiraiya. We didn't do anything. We just kept each other warm. Naruto trailed off as he shyly looked at Hinata. Naruto then got an angry look on his face. Pervert, Naruto said under his breath. Hinata giggled at Naruto's angrily defense of her honor. After eating breakfast and cleaning up, the group headed out towards the next town. As they walked along, Naruto began to appear bored as his arm was still in a sling but almost fully mended. Hey Naruto. Jiraiya called out to the boy. Yeah, what is it, pervy sage? Naruto said angrily. Don't call me that, Jiraiya said angrily and was instantly in front of Naruto. I will have you know that I am one of the legendary Sannin and am going to teach you both while we are on our way to find Tsunade, another of the legendary Sannin. Jiraiya-sama, Sannin denote 3, so who is the other Sannin? Hinata inquired. Well, Naruto sort of met him already. Orochimaru is the third known as Sannin. Jiraiya answered. Naruto's whisker marks darkened and his killing intent flared. Hinata gently grabbed his arm as they continued. Naruto. Calm down. It will do you no good to get angry. Hinata gently scolded Naruto. Naruto sighed heavily. I guess you're right, Hinata-chan. So what are you going to teach us, pervy sage? Naruto smiled as his features returned to normal. Jiraiya shook his head in frustration. I guess I am stuck with this until I get him to respect me. Just wish he would not call me the same thing his father did. Jiraiya thought to himself. You should respect me, I was the sensei to the 4th Hokage who was sensei to your uncle Kakashi. Jiraiya explained. So you would know all of the 4th's jutsu, wouldn't you? Naruto asked, excited beyond all reason. Yes, I do know most of his jutsu. But for me to teach you, you will have to call me sensei, Jiraiya stated bluntly. Hinata stood and bowed. Hi, Jiraiya-sensei. Good girl. Jiraiya smiled and commented. Naruto got a big foxy grin on his face and Jiraiya was not sure what he was up to. Hi. Uro-sensei, Naruto said and started to snicker. Jiraiya rolled his eyes. Geez kid, why did you call me that? He asked, but not sure he wanted to know the answer. You wanted me to call you sensei, so I am. I am also referring to you as my perverted sensei, as Kurenai-sensei would not be happy if I were to overlook your peeping, Naruto said, proud of himself. Jiraiya rolled his eyes again, knowing he would not win this argument. Well, from what I have learned from Hiashi and the others, you both are supposed to link your demon chakra and something is supposed to happen. I will have you do that this evening in an open area outside of town after we check into a hotel. But first I want to check on both of your ability to control chakra, Jiraiya said as he looked a small pond. Cross the water. Hinata and Naruto walked onto the water. Hinata seemed to have some problems at first as she quickly adjusted to her higher chakra reserves and was standing on the water's surface in no time. Naruto began to teach her to use the shadow clone jutsu as she could no longer use regular clone because of her high chakra and lower control. I see why you had problems, Naruto-kun. Yeah, well, the Kyuubi screwed with my control but also helped by giving me a large chakra capacity, Naruto exclaimed. After checking into a hotel, Jiraiya took Naruto and Hinata out into the forest. Okay kids, I need you to pull out your demonic chakra and connect them. Jiraiya pointed to a clearing and 2 places close together that they could sit at. Jiraiya moved away as they began. Naruto was able to surround himself first with red chakra. Hinata slowly bled lavender chakra and was finally cloaked in it like Naruto. Ears and a tail formed on each of them. The tails swayed back and forth for a few moments. The tails then wrapped around each other and appeared to merge. Dreamscape. Naruto felt himself in the Kyuubi chamber standing in ankle-deep water. The Kyuubi was at the bars of his cage with a worried look on his face. Worried? Why would he be worried? Naruto thought to himself. Because kid, I am worried about my mate and if she will survive the merging. Your mate may not be ready for the power that will be coursing through her. It might destroy her. Please change this landscape and you can change the seal however you want, I must see Heim. The Kyuubi nearly pleaded. A door to the right opened for Naruto, showing a field of flowers and a sleeping but pained Hinata lay near a castle. Naruto entered the door. Naruto turned and saw he was leaving his own dark castle. A cage appeared near where the gates would be located in the castle. A door opened inside the cage and a large red-furred fox walked inside the cage towards the white castle. The cage lengthened as it approached the castle. Naruto ran to Hinata and knelt down. Naruto gently picked up Hinata's head and rested her head on his lap. Please be okay, Hinata-chan. I couldn't stand to be without you, Naruto whispered as Hinata moved restlessly in his gentle grasp. Naruto-kun. Hinata whimpered out. I'm here, Hinata-chan, I'm here, Naruto stated in an effort to comfort the girl he had come to love. Naruto looked up to see that the cage had extended to the gates of the White Castle. Naruto watched as the Kyuubi howled and roared in an effort to get the attention of Heim as she also howled, but it was a howl of pain, excruciating pain. Hinata's eyes fluttered open as pain showed deeply in her lavender eyes. Naruto-kun? I'm here, Hinata-chan, I won't leave you until this is over. Kyuubi is here for Heim too. We are here for our girls, Naruto said with a sad smile which Hinata returned. Hinata reached up and touched Naruto's face only to be racked by intense pain again. She screamed as Heim howled. Only a little more, Heim, and you will be fine. Kid, soothe your mate now or we all die. Kyuubi warned. Naruto, not knowing what to do, leaned down and kissed Hinata gently on the lips in an attempt to ease her pain and distract her. Hinata's eyes shot open. She looked into worried blue seas, but did not resist as she had wanted this for a long time. She then felt a surge of exhilaration, almost like a spark move between Naruto and her. Her arms moved and encircled Naruto as she deepened the kiss. Naruto felt the exhilaration move through him as he kissed Hinata. He deepened the kiss as she did, not wanting it to end. Naruto noticed as the howling lessened. "I will do whatever I need to do to ease your pain, Hinata-chan," Naruto thought as they continued to kiss. Their breathing through their noses became harder and labored as the kiss continued. When the kiss finally broke, Hinata winced in pain but looked lovingly into Naruto's eyes. "Did you mean that? The kiss, did you mean it?" Hinata nearly begged for an answer. Naruto nodded and kissed her again on the lips. "I mean every kiss I give you, Hinata-chan," Naruto whispered as he broke the kiss to speak, only to recapture her lips before she could respond. "Thank you, Kit, for helping them both out," the Kyuubi stated from his cage near the gate. Naruto broke the kiss long enough to respond to the fox. "Shut up, you damn fox, I'm busy here easing my girlfriend's pain and I want us to enjoy it, not listen to a fox complain. If you continue to yap I will send you back to your cage," Naruto yelled over his shoulder as he heard a whine and a yelp from the fox. "Now where were we?" Naruto asked with a sly grin on his face. "Oh yes. Oh Naruto-kun," Hinata said as he shifted to her side and returned to lovingly ministering to her lips. Outside the mindscape, Jiraiya watched in morbid fascination as the two demon containers' chakra merged at the tail. Suddenly both were pulled together and slammed into each other. They appeared to wrap their arms around each other as their heads lay on each other's shoulders. Then there was a blinding light as they both spun in the air while they continued to embrace each other. "Damn lucky kid," Jiraiya cursed. The two slowly drifted to the ground and lay there encased in their respective chakras. This continued as Jiraiya could swear they both had smiles on their faces, but Hinata's appeared to also hold pain. Jiraiya created a shadow clone and sent it off to check the area for any visitors that might happen upon the three of them. After about 10 minutes the chakra cloaks dissipated. Jiraiya noted that there continued to be chakra coursing between the two at their seals, and Hinata's expression was now one of happiness or bliss rather than pain. "This is going to make a great book. Icha Icha Kitsune. Sounds like a good title to me. Young lovers who were demon fox Hanyo. Damn, I am good at coming up with storylines." Jiraiya began writing as his clone made another round of patrols to make sure that they were alone. Both children sighed as Jiraiya noticed the chakra between them die down. Naruto and Hinata looked deeply into each other's eyes and smiled contently. "So what happened?" Jiraiya asked. Naruto released Hinata, who frowned until Naruto stood and offered a hand in helping her stand. "How do you feel, Hinata-heim?" Hinata shakily stood and fell into Naruto's waiting arms. "A little shaky, like my insides were torn apart and then put back together." "Figures, your chakra network was more than likely torn to shreds and then rebuilt using the celestial chakra," Jiraiya commented. The group slowly made their way back to the inn and slept the night away. Jiraiya had this lingering feeling that something was going to happen and he didn't like it.